Welcome back. 2025 NRTCCA conference here in the beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. We are on the brief, and I got lucky. I was able to snag two of the most influential people in the space, Rick Smith and Mike WAGERS. Thank you, gentlemen.
Honored to be here.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I don't think I'm influential, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Are you kidding me? You guys are podcast. Oh, you guys thought I was going to talk about Axon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. I meant in podcasting. You guys are killing it. Like, that's my space. So
yeah, it is.
We're rookie up and comers. We're here to learn.
Hey, I'm here to teach.
Love the setup.
I know, it's not too bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when we talk about technology, it's kind of interesting to see how everything communicates together and in this ecosystem of podcasting, so which makes an awesome segue for communication and the way that Axon's world all communicates together. Mm-hmm. And this is not your guys' first time at our conference. 2025, we're always trying to push the envelope, talk about the latest and greatest that are coming out. So that's what I want to lead with. Rick, what is on the edge? What can people look forward to? Why is it that they should be looking at Axon this year?
Well, I think AI is obviously huge and it's pervading everything. I think that one's kind of obvious, but I think the next year is going to be all about drones, and not just like drone as first responder, but I think counter drone is going to be critically important.
Oh, yes.
I mean, small $1,000 drones are killing about 1,000 people a day in the front lines in Ukraine. It took down a police helicopter in Colombia. You know, we're seeing, and anybody with a 3D printer, $1,000 and a little bit of tech expertise and access to the internet can now build, a very threatening weapon. And we have a bill in Congress to actually get ahead of this, to allow state and local police to be able to jam and otherwise interdict drones to control airspace around events. I think that's going to be, because something bad's going to happen. I hate to say it, but I think it's pretty obvious. And then once it does, there's going to be a mad rush. Like, how do we protect our communities from bad actors of drones? Now,
you are a unique owner of a business in public safety, and I say that because rumor is you go out there and get hands-on trying to learn this stuff and figure it out. And I heard that you went out and went on the front lines trying to see how drones were being used.
I did go to Kyiv. I did not go to the front lines.
Okay.
That would have been, my wife wouldn't have signed off on that one. I had to check with my boss.
I gotcha.
But I have to tell you, it was probably the most inspired week of my life being in Kyiv. It's just so distant from here. It's hard to realize, like, these people are living through just an incredible difficulty with a much larger country attacking them, bombing their cities with 700-800 drones a night. Now we're not talking about the little ones. Here we're talking about things the size of a Volkswagen Bug flying in.
Right.
And so I went out there. I felt like history is happening, and I wanted to go learn about what's evolving. We have hundreds of sensors since we bought D-Drone. We have hundreds of counter drone sensors all across Ukraine, and so I went to meet our customers and understand the fast-moving threats and what we need to learn to be ready for that future when it comes to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I love that. That's what makes it unique. There's not a lot of people. They would have sent their R&D department. You went out there and got checked out. That's respect on my side. I love that about you. I love that you did that. Now my question to you, Mike.
No, I did not go.
Okay, so you were holding it down here on the home front, but that's El Jefe. What was going through your mind when he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go out to the Ukraine"? What were you thinking?
I just that's Rick. Like,
you're used to it.
I'm just so used to it. I mean, he wants to understand the problem, and so he's going to go check it out and try to understand it, and then figure out where we may fit in to ultimately, promote public safety and support our customers and save lives. So, like, didn't surprise me. His executive assistant kept me updated of all the, probably more than he knows, of all the things that were happening and her concerns and worries. So, I was paying attention, but I expect nothing less, just given who he is.
Okay, very interesting. Now, the counter drone stuff, I can tell you on the law enforcement side, I police out in Fort Worth, and that has been an issue where we have these special events. We got FIFA coming up. We've got a bunch of sporting events, rodeo events. We're Cowtown. And we have to reach out to the FBI for any counter drone issues that we have. That takes time. We need it now, and we have no solutions. So you're the first that I've heard talk about this. So,
well, when we started with taser weapons, People were not interested in it. When we started body cameras, people said it was Big Brother, would never fly. We started cloud software. People told us it was illegal to put police evidence in the cloud. And that's what really makes my job fun. Like for me, it's like a big sort of treasure hunt. What is the next thing that people haven't seen yet, but where there's the signs that it's coming?
Right.
And that's like, I remember when and by the way, I get a lot of credit unnecessarily. I'm like a honeybee. I fly around collecting pollen, which are ideas from our customers and our engineers. And then I just get to kind of shape it as it comes together. It is the most wonderful job on earth. I actually had told my board I wanted to retire in 2013 because I was so burned out as the company grew doing the traditional CEO, which is where you sit in a boardroom and you sit in meetings all day and you look at budgets.
Boring.
And and so we managed to restructure the company so I get to do the things that I think founders are a little different than professional CEOs. Like founders typically, they like that scrappy, let's go out and figure out what is a problem to be solved and work with our customers to figure it out. And so we've now reorganized the company so it allows me to do that full time.
Okay.
And it is wonderful. I will keep doing this job till they throw me out.
Dude, if you keep doing it the way you're doing it, we actually came out and filmed at your spot, and I kind of talked about that. And I won't get into that because it's not NRTCCA related necessarily. But you inspired all of our crew so much that they wanted to come work at your place.
Did they want to get some tattoos?
That is a huge compliment. That is the biggest compliment you can pay.
So, and young Jacob over there was one of those inspirations because he was truly, we read people for a living. And he had 3 cops in there doing some filming. And everybody we talked to and we could read, they love what they do. I mean, he came out with a "Don't Tase Me, Bro" shirt. Who does that?
It was a Saturday. I was relaxed.
Well, I got to tell you, one thing I love about this industry is it rewards authenticity.
Yes.
Like the fact that you guys are so good at reading people, we just take this position, just be authentic. Like don't try to BS our customers because they're going to have nothing of it. Mm-hmm. And it's liberating. It's like, look, they don't expect us to be perfect. They just expect us to be open, communicative, and honest. And look, we've had shit shows like, any tech company. Things go wrong, things break, but the thing I'm proud of is that we've created an environment where, even some of our newest employees, we basically tell them, hey, you got to be obsessed with the customer's problems. And yes, we have process and things we have to do as we've scaled, but challenge our own processes if it's getting to the wrong answer. It's just exciting to be part of this organization. I'm not sure I ever could have gotten hired in. Luckily, I started at the beginning, so and they're still sticking with me. Well,
I got a question because we didn't get a chance to get into this, Mike, when we were there. We were limited time, and I get it. LPRs. You guys are breaking into that now, too. What can we expect with your LPRs?
Well, when we I'm going to wind back the clock a little bit.
Okay.
When we were first starting with body cameras, we were scaling, and then we had a number of police departments come to us and say, hey, we want body cameras and in-car cameras to be on the same network. And I really didn't want to go build in-car cameras because somebody had already built that. There are a lot of folks. So I went and I met with every in-car video company, said, hey, we'd like to partner. And nobody wanted to partner with us. They all said, we're building body cameras. We're coming to compete with you. So, okay, we'll go. But
bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
Then I challenged our team. I said, look, if we're going to build in-car, I don't want to just build what's out there. So let's take a fresh look. What would we do that's new and different? And so there, the thing was license plate reading. The thing that had changed is traditionally license plate reading required all this custom, very expensive hardware. Now we realized you can do it with a color camera. And so we built Fleet 3. It was our 3rd iteration of in-car.
Which we love, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It's
you might not have loved Fleet 1 or Fleet 2, but Fleet 3.
Those were okay.
Look, Fleet 1. Our initial thesis was we would take essentially the lightweight body camera and have a very light installation process. And look, that product failed in the market. People were like, we don't want to rely on Wi-Fi. It's not high resolution enough. And so we learned and iterated. Anyway, so we've been in LPR since the launch of Fleet 1. And, we've gone out and we've partnered with a bunch of different folks. I think it's pretty well known that, we didn't initially decide to go build fixed license plate readers. We did that through a partnership. That partnership went a little bit sideways. And so looking at our teams like, okay, we no longer really have good access to these license plate readers. So our customers, this is something they need. So if we're going to build it, all right, let's take a fresh look. What would we do differently?
Okay.
And so there we took the same tech actually we had in Fleet, and we ported it over to fixed. And so basically 2 camera systems where we get a wide angle live video stream and a narrow, license plate reading camera, so a dual camera system. We've done a bunch of things about modularity to make it really configurable. You can put bigger batteries, bigger solar panels, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see. Oh, and we partnered with this company Ubiquia that does. They manage like 400 million streetlights around the world. And one of the big headaches with putting license plate readers in is
power.
It's with power, and it's like getting the permitting and all that.
Yeah.
And so with Ubiquia, these guys have access. They basically have pre-existing rights to put equipment on streetlights. Yeah. And so we're like, great. That gives us 2 really great options. We can do, if you want to go the more traditional standalone camera, it's Axon Outpost. Or if you want to put on a streetlight, great. We've got a partner that will do that. And I think one thing I've learned when I was much younger in my career, after a little bit of success, you might get a little bit of hubris where I thought, we're going to go do everything ourselves. And you realize, man, you just can't. And there's a lot of smart people out there doing a lot of good work. Yeah. And that's where we've just said, anywhere we can find a really good partner, in drones, for example, we bought a drone company. Yeah. We make indoor tactical drones. And when we looked at drone as first responder, and we saw the DJI ban coming, right? Like we'd partnered with DJI was the market leader, but they're basically getting shut out by the U.S. government for national security reasons. My initial reaction was, let's go build our own drones as first responders. But we went through a process, and we basically identified Skydio. And the team, I remember they came to me and said, hey, Rick, it's one thing if a drone falls from the sky 6 feet off the floor. It's another 400 feet up. Right. And this company, they're in San Francisco, venture-backed, have spent, hundreds of millions of dollars, 10 years doing this with a world-class team of like 600 or 700 people. It would be arrogant to think that we could go from a cold start and catch up anytime soon. Right. And so that's an example where it's like, great. Even though we're already in the drone business, we're going to partner, with them over there. And that's worked out really well. Same thing like with the Ubiquia Light Post and Outpost. You could say those 2 products are competitive. And one thing is we've gotten bigger. We tell all our teams, you got to compete on your own. Like we're big enough now, we could start to do icky things where it's like, try to force people to buy this product to work with that product. Right. But I think that is a recipe for mediocrity long term. Yeah. Like if you protect the weaklings in your organization, then eventually that weakness will fester. So everybody across the company say, hey, it's great you're part of Axon. You get access to our sales channel, but you all got to live and breathe and die on your own success. And we're going to partner with other folks. And if that partner's product sells better than ours, so be it. We'll do what's right for the customer.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and there's more to the story. I mean, that he sort of told there. Part of it's hubris. Even going back to Fleet One, before Fleet One, we thought we had the answer. And it was body cameras. And Rick, why do you need a dash cam? Every officer's going to have a body camera. They won't need dash cameras.
Oh, no, you need all of that, baby.
Well, I mean, I think that's what also, if you'd ask me like what makes Axon unique, and we talk about this all the time, sure, tasers and body cameras, cloud software, what we're doing with AI, that's our relationships and the trust that we have with customers and listening to customers and putting customers first. And it was the customers who said, no, we need dash cams, Rick. Like, you got that one wrong. Yeah. And there's a number of stories like that along the way in terms of the history of the company where we might have thought we had the answer, but we listen, and our customers tell us what the right answer is. It's amazing when you listen, to the cops out on the street, folks in real-time crime centers. They will tell you what they need, and they will tell you what we should build, and that's how we got to where we are with LPRs for sure.
Yeah. So one of the very cool parts for me right now that I get to do is I get to thank you guys personally. You helped me in the street. I was a new sergeant. We had a protest happening, and I could not get in contact with my officer. Now, everybody, it was okay. Afterwards, or during it going on, the live stream thing happened. So we were able to tap into his camera. He was fine. He just had his radio turned down. He was off talking on the side somewhere else. But as a new sergeant, and you're looking out for your guys, and there's people, there's a protest happening down there, the panic sets in. And leaning on that tech to be able to reach out to the real time, say, hey, I need you to tap into my guy's camera now. I can't get a hold of him. And I didn't even need to ask because they were already in the process, because they were able to watch in real time, and they were listening and watching through the body or the dash cameras, because now you've just force multiplied. We had cars set up strategically to watch a street because we couldn't physically put an officer there. We had officers in another spot. So now you've got the real-time crime center supplementing people out on the street. And I know you guys probably hear those stories all the time.
That was great. That's phenomenal to hear.
But for me, as a guy that was out in the street, as a new sergeant, it was, I get emotional thinking about it because I panicked for no reason.
Yeah.
But you guys helped me get through that pretty quick.
Wow.
So it was awesome.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, and like when we enabled live streaming on the body cameras a few years ago, there were concerns, and we heard a lot of like, "Oh, you already know the concerns.
Yes.
I don't need to." It's like, "Oh, you can't do that, Big Brother."
Yeah.
Officers are never accepted, and
that's the big one. Officers not liking it at first.
so
they learn.
We have a great partnership with the National Fraternal Order of Police, and they were initially against body cameras until they weren't. Now they, as the executive director Jim Pasco would say, like tried to take a body camera away from one of our members, from any officer out there on the street.
Feel naked without them.
Because it showed that most cops are doing the right thing.
Yes.
They're doing the right thing.
Well,
live stream.
It is funny how now the critics who are all pushing for body cameras.
Oh, they don't like
many
it now.
they're flipping against them now. These things are defective. They're not finding all these dirty cops.
Right.
Yeah. But the live stream is the same thing now. Like it was and what we're seeing more stories just like this, where it's an officer safety issue, and we're hearing. We're at the National Real Time Crime Center conference outside of Atlanta. And Atlanta has a number of stories. One I remember clearly where the sergeant could not raise one of his officers, taps into his camera, and he's in fight for his life. And they resources to get there and they get it under control. But like there are stories like that live streaming is is becoming integral to officer safety out in the field.
Yes. Well, and I got to tell you, it is just such a pleasure to hear people like you share stories like that. Because look, we could have a business selling T-shirts or whatever. Like there's lots of businesses you could be in.
I do think we should sell more T-shirts. Like don't tase me, bro.
I liked it. I'd wear it.
But ultimately, it is incredibly rewarding to hear stories like that.
Right.
Because we all look for validation in our work, and I certainly know it's true of law enforcement because people don't join this profession for the money, right? I mean, you guys join it, I think, out of a sense of civic duty.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a sense of excitement that you're on the edge of society, protecting society from its own worst elements. And for us, it lets us sort of live vicariously through you. That you guys are taking our little children, these little pieces of technology, and putting them to use.
And I was kind of alluding to this with Chris Lindendow. I always say his last name.
I butcher it too.
Yeah, with Fusus and how you guys had merged. And he was a Navy guy. And I tell him, I said, one of the common things that we as military guys hear from other cops is they wish they served.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're serving. And then it helped us expand upon that conversation that maybe you guys wish that you served in a way, but you are serving. You are giving back, have given young guys like Jacob over there the ability to hear these stories and know that he was a part of that in some way, somehow, just like the Navy guy whose job is to mop floors. He may not be overseas, but he signed the dotted line. He's part of that 1% or less club of the nation. And everything that you do in the organization of the military makes a difference. And I like looking at it that way with guys like you that maybe you weren't a cop, maybe you weren't in the military, whatever. I want you guys to know from our perspective as people who served, you guys are serving too. So it's huge. And I know that's why you like to hear those stories, because you are serving in a way. I just hope you guys think that way.
I mean, I didn't a lot until actually it was very recently. We had the chief of the San Diego Police Department come talk to an internal conference we have for all of them.
By the way. Oh my
awesome.
God.
And great chief. He's retired now. But he made the same point, similar point. So he was very passionate up on stage in front of several thousand employees.
Yeah.
And and was making that point and said, you are a part of the team. And I can't tell how many people still talk about that today, like to hear somebody like that chief stand up there and say, you are a part of my team. I like that probably meant, we bring sports stars in, celebrities, whatever. Yeah. But him saying that probably meant more than anybody else we brought to a conference. Yeah. And it was almost like, you might not even thought about it, but like all those employees sitting there, whoa, wait a minute.
And I've got story after story, and I'm not going to bore you with them. I know you probably like to hear them offline, but I've got so many encounters where the live stream helped, where the dash cam helped, where the body cam helped, save an officer that was being wrongly accused. And to me, looking at that, it's like Are we taking the time to let you guys know that? So maybe it's something, officers, I'm challenging you guys. Let your companies know how they're helping.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's great feedback.
I mean, helping, but also when we're not helping, like that. That's what also like
the troubleshooting stuff. That I get that, but I think you guys don't get the success stories enough, especially the ones that seem low key, mundane, kind of like mine. There was nothing that actually happened, but you possibly save citizens because now you don't have an officer responding code unnecessarily. You know, you helped keep the officer safe. We were able to figure out what the knucklehead was doing.
Yeah.
You know, and you cut time, which is something we never have enough of. You cut time. So I love that. Now, I want to pivot real quick. With we got 2025. You guys saw in 2026 and 2027 we're going to be in Phoenix and then coming to Fort Worth. Can't wait to host you guys. Can you give me something that is coming down the pipe that maybe nobody really knows about? Maybe you can't tell me too much stuff, but something. Just give me a little tidbit.
What if since you're going to be in Phoenix, and we thought of this idea last year for our conference, we
Okay.
didn't pull it off. It's not a new product. It could be. What if we have Rick flying on a jetpack? Like, can you picture him like coming down the street into the convention center?
I mean, I think it'd be cooler to have you on a drone that you can ride, one of those little Jetson drones,
Yeah. Vertical takeoff.
But yes, but an Axon version or a Skydio or
We actually did. We have an internal voice and text chat and different channels.
Yes.
And so I did pitch that. I was like, hey, because DFR is.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, we should have Rick come in on a drone, and that led to a jetpack. Completely joking.
I'm down.
He gets serious about it, and like starts like Googling,
researching it,
and dropping images online. Our marketing folks are freaking out. Like, why did you do that? I was like, well, I was joking. I thought it was funny. He's not joking. Then our legal team, they're probably like, really, like, we're not letting our CEO fly on some experimental craft down the streets of Phoenix. So anyway, we didn't pull it off, but maybe we can for
You only live once.
Well, I've got one for you.
Okay.
So this is one that's in active consideration, and for any of your viewers,
I like that term, active consideration.
Yeah. So look, my job now is to just stay curious, and I get credit for a lot of good ideas, but I got a lot of bad ideas too, and the key is like
a lot
identifying those early.
Okay.
So here's something we're looking at. So we build these training pods, the Axon training pod. It's a 40-foot shipping container. We use it for VR training.
Yes.
We also have a version we call the real-time pod, where it's a mobile real-time crime center.
Yes.
which I think we have one here.
You do, out in the parking lot. Yeah, I actually, while you guys were building the first one out there at Scottsdale, I believe, Chris Henningsen, our president, the godfather of crime centers, I'm trying to make that a thing. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Put it on a T-shirt.
Yes. So I was out there with the godfather, and he was taking pictures and giving me updates and showing, because I'm a nerd and I love that stuff. So he was showing me, and amazing.
So here's the twist. Following the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, we've seen twice in the past roughly year rooftop assassinations.
Yeah.
Now, here's how we think you deal with that. Like, a lot of agencies may not have the infrastructure, but if you have a big event coming, so we're looking at, the working name is Sky Carrier. So we would have a mobile station that is like the real-time pod, really optimized for drone and counter drone. And so you'd be able to drop it on site, scan the air for any drone activity days leading up to an event to see if anybody's scanning or if there's any nefarious drones. Take the Skydio drones, you'd be able to launch multiple from this Sky station and be able to map all of the rooftops in that area. And then before, during, and after the event, we could have continuous surveillance using AI to detect any anomalies on any rooftops near an event. And then also you'd have Fusus, high zoom cameras.
Because you've already done a pre-scan. And so you'll notice anything that changes. Brilliant. Okay. I think that will work. I think you will get a lot of people with that.
Right. And for any viewers of the show, rick@axon.com. If you think it's a terrible idea, please tell me, because we don't like spending money on terrible ideas. If you think it's a good idea, we'll take feedback as well. Like, this is how our product development works. And relationships are real. We've actually talked about this at our last conference. It might be a little cheesy for a tech company to be leaning in that relationships are the most important thing we have. But if you forget all our tech, it is. Like, the stories you shared about Axon and the fact when we launch things, you have probably a presumption that we've done our homework and it's going to be pretty good.
Right.
That is incredibly valuable, that you will give us a look at almost anything we launch because of that trusting relationship.
Yeah.
And that takes decades to build, and you can destroy it in a weekend.
Yeah.
And so, and look, we're as imperfect as any organization. We're a collection of 5,000 people. We're going to have some people that kind of go outside of the lines and do things we're not proud of. And the best thing we can do is we manage hard to it. We really try to hire good people. We win right is one of our values. Like if we catch people that are not winning right, we help them find a career somewhere else. So I would just say my job right now is to go learn about all the things we should be doing and protect these relationships.
I love that.
Because they're super critical.
Maybe a little honeybee flying around.
Yeah, right? So to wrap this up, what is it at our conference here that maybe you guys are excited, that you've seen as you peruse through or anything? Like, is there anything out there right now that you're pretty excited about that you saw maybe you want to check out?
I'm excited just about the size and the scale, because it shows you
You've
about.
seen how we've started.
I mean, was third or fourth year sort of
Fourth
large?
year, yeah.
Fourth years. I mean, beyond anything else, just walking in and seeing where this has gone, where it started and where it is today, because it shows the evolution and the importance of real-time crime centers and the people in those real-time crime centers. So I've walked around a little bit, but it's just more just the people and the work they're doing that blown away by it. And great job by the Real-Time Crime Center Association team and the board and everything like that. It is a phenomenal conference.
It's all crisp, but it is teamwork. You guys know how it goes. But so very cool. And then, sir, I appreciate you guys' time so much. I know y'all are busy, and you made this trip especially just for us. So our organization thanks you very much. You have any closing things you want to get out there before we close this out?
Well, two things. One, I would just back up. It's awesome to see real-time crime centers are now a thing. It's not a concept.
Yeah, right.
And I think this is where new tech is coming to law enforcement. There's a lot of areas that are more sort of locked down where change does not come easy. And I think real-time crime centers are built to basically be the eyes and ears of law enforcement to bring this new tech in and connect it all up and get it working. So it's fantastic. For us to see, that's like, man, it's a very natural partnership. And it's just super exciting to see, how you early innovators have created something from nothing.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And just a shameless plug. I mean, you're the godfather of podcasting for public safety. But Rick and I do a podcast together. If you want to go check it out at boldlygopodcast.com, where we talk about all kinds of things, the history of Taser and Axon, but more like where technology's heading. And of course, you know this, and you've provided me some advice. I have my own podcast where I interview police leaders across the country, and you can find that at policebriefing.com. Very educational. And we've talked. Make sure you guys check that out too. It's very educational. I love that side.
And you are the sensei. I mean, for those who can't see this, they bought all the equipment to set this studio up.
In a day.
In a day?
Yep.
In a day. That's fantastic. Hey. And I've got a whole bunch of little tips and tricks I've picked up.
Already.
So thank you.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, thank you very much. I know you got some busy schedules going on, but truly we appreciate it. And for everybody else, make sure you check out Axon's booth. Come out here, 2025 Georgia Real-Time Crime Center Association's conference.